deep into removing the water pump and the output bearing carrier from the Sidewinder, and installed Teal's nitro gearbox onto this Sidewinder. And one of the modifications that Teal does is he sells this new impeller and impeller shaft to replace the troubled Yamaha impeller. For whatever reason, especially in the UTV market and the airplane applications, this shaft is known to break. And there's a couple different failure modes to this impeller and shaft combo. But if you can see, it has a couple deep snap ring lines in it, and then two I guess roll pins that go through there. Two pins go through it. So all that conspires to make some real stress points on that shaft, and some of them shear really soon. Some last for a while. But anyhow, that's gone. Teal's replacement for that has a machine shaft. I'll spin this off maybe. Machine shaft and a special light inertia impeller. It's a nice solid aluminum impeller, replacing the plastic one. It has fewer blades, so the weight winds up being the same moment of inertia as the stock one. And then the shaft, of course, if you compare that shaft to this impeller shaft, you can obviously see the difference in the strength of it and stuff. So as of right now, I don't believe there's been any failures to Teal's shaft, and I believe the UTV market that uses, and sled market, any market that has had problems with this shaft, a number of aftermarket companies have tried to fix it, and it looks like they're buying them from Teal now, because he seems like he's come up with the best version of that. We're also going to install a backup electric water pump on this. So I guess people like to run Teal is in the habit of running his electric water pump. And I think Steve too, after you shut it down, it'll continue to circulate. After you shut the airplane down, the turbo's hot, it'll continue to circulate coolant through the turbo, is my understanding, and cool your turbo so it's not cooking off the oil in it too. So you want to, in addition to this more reliable water pump impeller, aviation guys are also putting a backup electric pump in them, and we'll be doing that too. Teal's gearbox becomes the water pump housing. And you can see the OEM one here, and this nipple replaces this big nipple. And this O-ring here on this fitting comes right out, and it's going to go right in here. And it just now we'll put a little grease on that to hold it in place, but this goes away with the factory impeller and shaft, and all the OEM seals and stuff from the shaft and everything gets incorporated into that. Well, it's actually, other than the shaft and the impeller, so far it's all OEM parts. This will go on and replace the housing. So we'll be coupled, we'll be bolted on. Here's a new bearing seal, and yeah, the bearing, the inlet bearing on the gearbox is here. And this seal surface over the spline shaft just seals everything, keeps the engine oil away from the gearbox. It's totally isolated from the gearbox. Okay, so I'm trying to okay, we're in the impeller. The O-ring stayed put. Okay.
Are these shoulder bolts?
What's that? Yeah, no, they're hardware's all in there. Let me give it a little tap with the leather hammer, just to. Teal wants you to thread this all the way in, and before you put the thing on, you make sure your threads are good. This is a factory new engine, so we know it's pretty good, but we're just confirming, that our 1/2 inch by 20 pitch thread goes in all the way. It does. All right. That baby is just as fresh as can be. Oh, you gotta fuck this up. I feel like
This video is brought to you by Loctite.
yeah, I feel like one of the girls on The Price is Right. I use a retaining compound. I like to put it on there and rotate it on the shaft and pull it off. See, then you got a nice even coat. If you look down in there, you kind of, that way if you had any thin or thick spots, it kind of molds out. So you got good coverage all the way around because I spun it. It's an old bottle with threads on all the new ones. Right back. Stop for a second. Just realized that while we were doing this, I don't have a Allen wrench in that size to fit my torque wrench, and I've got an inch-pound torque wrench that probably don't go up to 50 foot-pounds anyhow. So I'm measuring a foot from the center of my wrench. And my weightlifting son here, I'm sure has 50 pounds of weight we can hang on that. So I'll be right back.
All right, 50 foot-pounds. No torque wrench that we can spec it with this. So we've got a foot, and we've got 50 pounds.
So simple, a caveman could do it. And I'll turn this. Okay, you got to re-grip the wrench. The good news, good news, we're not slipping. No, don't worry about that. Oh, okay, you just want to turn it back
up to horizontal.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to have you unplug the wrench and turn it up and splash. Yeah, I could turn the motor backward to that, I guess. Better. No, good. Okay, reset your wrench. Here, just. I just told me.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but you gotta take all your weights off. I guess it'd be easier if I just turned the motor backward. Okay. I'm trying to rotate the motor against you to stop you straight across, you know.
Yeah.
It's still turning. I'm slipping through. You know what? You're right where we need you. Need to be horizontal. Got this set. Got her mark. Set her on there and see if I can. One more time on it tight.
Ready?
Yep. She's holding right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're slipping.
Yeah, I'm slipping there. That's holding. That's
50 foot-pounds.
Where's that O-ring grease? Okay. My first oil sample will be like there's silicone in the oil. Using more of this than I normally use, but it's O-ring grease. I don't want the damn thing to fall out while we're putting it together. Let's tighten the cap up a little more. All right. Oh, that stuff's great for this. It's like it's made for it. Nice. Whoopsies. Got a little ahead of myself. A little bit more of a gap than I wanted there. It's just a 32nd of an inch. Still a little grease. I can put a dab on. Oh, there it goes. That stretched her. Now she's butt tight. Butted tight. Whoop, that's good because this fell out over here. Okay. Oh, it might be a little too long actually. Might be a little too long. Make sure everything's copacetic. Oh, boy, that's perfect. You zoom in on that, you can hardly see the seam. Just got lucky, stretched it a little bit probably. These are some of the new cylindrical bearings that came with the nitro gearbox, and he's later updated the bearings in the Apex gearbox. These are really super heavy duty. Just making sure you got your inner race for this top bearing on your prop shaft, and she's ready to rock. Also, you have two lineup dogs on these gearboxes. Same with the Apex. You got one here and one here. They can fall out. You got to make sure they're in there. And one last check of your O-ring. Make sure there's no spot. You can kind of look it from the side. Make sure there's no spot it's hanging out. Looks good. Try to line things up the best we can. Kind of paying attention to those lineup dogs.
The up dogs?
Yeah, dog. What's up, dog? What's up, dog? Okay. Oh, that's right in there. Double check the O-ring. Boy, she looks good. Oh, we're a little bit out on top. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves on the bottom. Boy. Boy. I wonder if I can pull that in with one of them clamps. Just, I probably need to bring that out, the bottom out just a hair. A couple big washers there. I hate to leave go of that. Just pry on one. There's like a place where you can use to pull it apart. I like to use washers in there so you don't tear it up. There we go. Oh, it's kind of going together. O-ring looks good in there. We got perimeter bolts. Oh, these. Jeremiah's kind of disappointed because I'm not home helping Ray build his Badlands Traveler this week, and I just wanted to give him an update of what we're doing. We're down in Lakeland, Florida at the Sun and Fun Aviation Convention. We've got the hee-haw down here. We're going to do 4 forums, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the engine forums area on the main entrance to Sun and Fun. And we're just kind of sharing our experience building a Highlander with a Yamaha engine in it. I got some of my good buddies here, maybe some new subscribers to Denny Rowe Aviation and to the Badlands build. But sound off. Ed Klepis over here will start us off.
Ed Klepis from Paducah, Kentucky.
Paducah, Kentucky.
Don Bilbrey from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mark Webb, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Danny Scher, Fort Thomas, Kentucky.
Frank Witter, Silver Grove, Kentucky. Woo!
These gentlemen
Wait,
are
Kentucky.
awesome. And we're from Pennsylvania. Anyhow, these guys are down here working hard at the engine workshop area. And come on by. We got a weld booth over here. Somebody's going to be teaching TIG welding.
Lots of good stuff
And
down here.
if you come in the main entrance, watch for us on your left coming in the gate to the main grounds and stuff. And stop by and see hee-haw. And if you can make our workshops, look us up in the workshops. Again, it's Wednesday through Saturday. And the times are 2 days it's 10 to 11 a.m. and 2 days it's 1 to 2. And stop by and see us, and we'll tell you everything we know about putting an Apex on a Highlander. It'll take us about 5 minutes, so you won't be tied up too long. Have
Get
a
you
good
up
one.
in the air.
Yeah. Yep. We just had a nice gentle rain shower here at Lakeland. Hopefully we won't get much more, but it afforded me the opportunity to get some dust wiped off of that. I chamoised it off with that towel, and hee-haw looks pretty good. Got a lot of the Florida dust off for now, and hopefully the rain won't be too bad, the rest of the night, and maybe it'll suppress a little bit of the dust down here, because boy, your plane gets messy fast in Central Florida. But if you come down the main entrance, that'd be the walkway over there, the distant one. There's like an in walkway and a closer out walkway. You see the polyfiber fabric covering building. You went too far. Stop in and see hee-haw and say hi, and be glad to shake hands with everybody. And that be nice to put some faces to names. And that hope you all have a good week and enjoy the show.